Hello everyone, this is Mesolight Visual. Welcome to the 3-bedroom house production series. This is a request from one of our followers from the previous uploads. So this exercise will be put into series to make sure we cover step by step all the stages required or necessary to produce building from scratch and extract documents for council submissions. We're going to design the layout, then put into 3D, then detail the 3D to allow us to produce drawings from the model. If you are new or you've been watching our videos without subscribing, kindly subscribe for this channel to grow and help us to invest more on videos that will impact the ArchiCAD users and beginners around the world. Our aim is to help you improve your workflow, work smart, and spend less time to produce great results effortlessly. Also check mesolightbeam.com for great ArchiCAD BIM resources and template. I'll also put the link in the description. Without any further ado, let's get started.
The first part, after receiving your side boundary, you can draw your side boundary. So in this case, we have a 20 by 15 meter plot, which is 300 square meter. And then after doing that, you set out your building line depending on the standard setbacks in your area. So in this case, we have 1.5 setbacks on the sides and 5 meters from the front entrance of the boundary. This is the first exercise that you can easily do before you start your design. So the next stage is now determining our space layout or zoning of our spaces and creating our desired spaces. In this case, we have a 3-bedroom house. So we need 3 bedrooms plus a kitchen, a dining area, and the lounge. So our first stage, what we're going to do is separate our spaces into two, being the living areas on the other side and the bedroom areas on the other side. So this side we are going to have our living rooms and kitchen, and the bedrooms and bathrooms will be on the other side. So we can measure from here to see if it's a standard measurement. 6 meters by 6 meters each half, and then we need a 1.2 measurement from this side and this side. So we have 650. So this will determine the passage area to access our spaces, the 2 spaces that we've categorized, the living spaces and the resting areas, which are the bedrooms. So firstly, we are going to use our line tool to just demarcate the spacing of our places. So here it's going to be our bedroom. So a standard bedroom, we need a 4.5 by 4 meters. And then we need an insert, which is going to take 1.5 or 1.5. And then we also need a standard bathroom for visitors, for guests and the other occupants in the building, which is going to be 1.5 again by 2.7 And then the next room in our space will be now the other bedroom, which we are going to need by say 4.5 by 3 meters. And then the remaining space again, we place another bedroom. So this bedroom access, we'll place it on this side to access this room. So we need 1.2 to have a mini passage for so that you don't directly see what's in the room before you enter. So basically, we can reduce the size of our master to 4 meters so that we can increase the spaces for these other bedrooms. So let's shift here to by 500. So this is just basically we are planning our spaces before we start extracting our walls and stuff. So this room is what, 3.5 by 4 meters, 3 meters. We can increase also this one by 250. So now we have our 3 bedrooms in our spaces, 1, 2, and 3. So the next stage is now creating our living room areas and kitchen. So for the kitchen, we need 4 meters or 4.2. 4.2 meters by 4.2. So this will be our kitchen area, and the next space will be our dining area, and then our living room. So also not forgetting, we need an entry porch to our space. Which we're going to make by 1.5. So here this space will be our veranda or the porch. And then at the back again for the kitchen we need another 1.4 for our porch. So this kitchen we can increase it so that it will be in line with this wall. So now we have successfully created the layout of our rooms. The next stage now is to utilize the wall tool so that we draw out the layer of our rooms. So under the wall tool, you easily select the wall tool, go to settings, under settings, enter favorites. Under favorites, you get already presets of walls that you can utilize. And to access such, we are using the MS Beam template, and for you to access it, you can follow the link below on the description. So we are going to use our 230mm plastered brick, and we trace our wall as it is on our building. So I'm going to use the center, then I draw along the area that we have created or set out for our building. So let's measure our living room space, which is 4 meters. We can increase it so that we also create character for our room, our building, I mean. So we go to our building line and I draw our space. So there we have the layout of the footprint of our building. So now we create the partitioning walls inside. So basically this wall will be supporting the roof, so it will be 230, and other remaining walls we can place them at 115. So for you to change your wall to 115, you can easily go here. We have presets of our composite walls that we've created. So select your brick 115, and then you draw out your walls that are going to be So after having done this, the next stage, what we can do, we can use the grid tool so that we make sure all our walls are aligned and are well in place. You can easily draw your zone, pick it and stretch it to put it on the correct point. For you to stretch this, you can easily connect the two. Then we place all our grids accordingly so that it will help us into identifying all our aligned tools and easy for structural reading. Now we also select these walls, place our grid references for all our walls, our structural or load-bearing walls. So the next thing is now naming our grids. So under this you go to grid settings. Under grid settings you name it to rules. So this one we're going to name it 1. This one will be named under numbers, and the other grid elements will be named using letters. So this we use them to easily reference the walls that we are looking for, and also help us into aligning walls so that it will be easier for foundation erection. So now we have created our grids. So after having created our grids, our next stage now we want to place our foundation. But before we do that, we can now delete this line that we're using to create our space allocation. So our next stage now is placing our foundation in place along our walls. So what we're going to do, we are going to create to show the trace reference of the ground floor, and after having done that, we go to our foundation level. So automatically after getting to your foundation level, your trace reference of your building will be in place. So the next stage that you're going to do is now placing your footing along your walls, your load-bearing walls. So what we're going to do now, we are going to go to wall. Under wall, we go to favorites. Under favorites, there's the footing wall profile that is created under the wall tool. Then you select it, and then you trace your footing along your building. So this one we can stretch it to meet here, and then we create the footing for this wall. So by doing so, it can help you into calculating the schedules of your building and everything required when you are preparing your before construction. So it will help you know the estimate or the costing of your building. So it is quite nice to model your building exactly as it is supposed to be in reality. So from here we are going to select our section 2 so that we can be able to place our foundation and wall correctly. We can delete some of the things that we don't require. So now our foundation is in place. So if it was the case that it's not correctly placed, you correctly place it using our already preset levels, knowing that the top of the footing should be at 690 millimeters below ground level, and so on. So we can check out how it appears on our 3D document. So this is our building. So our footing is in place, our grids are in place. Our next stage now is naming our spaces using the zone tool. So under zone, click zone, you go to the settings, and then you go to the favorites that are already loaded in here, and you select the zoning stamp that you require, and then you set out the settings of how it wants you to, of the information that you want to appear. So for this case, you go to settings. Under settings, you go to content. Under content, that's when you can punch in the information that you want to be shown on your zone. So for here, we want the zone name, the zone number, and the measured area, and we don't want to show the frame, and that's it. So we are going to start with our lounge. And then place our zone. The next space is our dining area. So we are going to name, for you to change the name, you select your zone and you punch in the name of the space. Then our next stage is the kitchen area. Select the zone and place the name. We'll go to our bedroom. Which is bedroom number 3. Here where the bath and insert, and then lastly the master bed. So utilizing the zones is quite a good thing. So it will help you into calculating all your schedules and determining the extracting information such as schedules that will help you into calculating the total area of each space and determining the total area of the building, and that will help you into calculating the required information or building material needed for you to build such a space or such a building. So another space, we have the entry porch, which is going to be here. And this is the master bed. So for our bathrooms, we can simply use the text. So we also need such things as wardrobes. We can place our wall here to be 600 for our wardrobes. So now we have created all the spacing. The next stage is now the placement of the slab. So for our slab, we're going to utilize the composite slab. So from this composite slab, we're going to draw out our slab in our spaces. The slab or the flooring of our building. So you select the composite slab. So for you to select the composite slab, you make sure you've activated this. And then from there, you right click. After right click, you go to edit composite profile. So you basically create a new and name it slab profile. or slab composite, where 150 or 100 mm slab. So through the use of composites, it will help you create layers of different materials that will represent your slab. So from here what we're going to do is to create our slab with a tiling on top, followed by the slab 50mm sandstone, damp-proof membrane, and our 150mm compact. So we're going to place 5mm ceramic tile. So we're going to look for a ceramic tile. Let's put it at 10, and then the next layer will be our slab. Our concrete slab 1 grade, which is going to be 100 mm, and then 5 mm damp-proof membrane, and then next will be our sandstone 50 mm sandstone, and then hardcore compaction of 150 mm. Here. And then we click OK. So from here we simply now selecting the slab that we've created, which is this one. So if we go to our section, here is the material that we have created. So what we simply do is to place it on the right position, and we'll be using our levels on the side, so it seems to be on the correct position. So in the case of such, you can easily go to such connection. You can usually utilize the go to building materials and change the material priorities of our items. So here we want to change the sand or the damp-proof membrane to reduce it so that it's not in competition with our wall, and simply press OK. So again we have to change the thicknesses of the line weights of our slab. We can easily go back to composites and we change this to the line weights. You change them through this icon. So for concrete is the only one that will be thicker, since it's a structural material. simply hit OK. And now you can see the representation of our material is now on point. So after having created this, we move out now to the placement of our outdoor slabs. So for our porch, so you can check out on 3D. We have created our porch. So following stage that we are going to handle is now creating the openings in our spaces. So we are going to first start with the doors. Under the doors, this template also consists of favorites of different doors that you can utilize, from garage doors, pivot doors, swing doors, which are custom made, which are not embedded in ArchiCAD. You can only access them if you have this template. Also, we have garage doors. So here we need a pivot door for our entrance. I want to select it and place our door. Next one is the entrance doors, the interior doors. You can use the swing doors that are in our library, or you can simply use the ones that are embedded in ArchiCAD. So you can select different range of doors that you can utilize for your spaces. So select this one. And then we need one for the bathroom insert. And lastly, for the kitchen outdoor. So for this area, we are going to utilize an opening in ArchiCAD. So we're going to have an opening at the center and also on the kitchen entrance. So we need 600 from here to here. Let's simply use the line 2 to determine. And there we have our kitchen, dining, lounge, bedroom. Our next openings now will be the windows. So we go to window 2. Under window 2, you go to favorites. Under favorites, we have quite a range of MS Beam preset windows or Minium windows from every range that you can utilize. So for you to be able to access this, you can follow the link below and get the template. So for our bathrooms, I will need this window for our bathrooms and toilets. So it's 900 by 600. We want to place it on 2.1. We need 1.5 here. Move on to our master bedroom. We need this opening. By this side. And then we want a corner window. Going to utilize this. So for you to change your window settings to be a corner window, and simply click on it, go to settings. Under settings, you go to basic windows, then you easily go and select custom corner, and then from there it will give you this option. And then you select your windows, you connect them properly to form your corner window. So we can extend this window to be 2.1. Moving on into our other bedroom, we can also have the corner window effect. And then we reduce this to 1.5, and then we place this window. we deactivate the corner settings, the corner window settings. And voila. And then lastly, we want the opening for our kitchen. .2 by 900, 1.5 by 900 is better, or let's put 1.8 by 900 for our kitchen. Let's utilize the 1.5 by 900, which is here. So now we've created our windows. The next stage, we go to our 3D and correct the placement of our windows to the correct position. And select the windows and use the reference of these windows that we have placed correctly on 2.1 level. And there we have the placement of our windows in alignment with also the door level. So there we have it. Our following stage is placement of beams. So you can easily go to the beam 2. Under the beam 2, you utilize the custom structure or complex profile. So under this template, we created a preset of reinforced concrete beams. So we have this one 230 by 300 reinforced concrete beam. So next stage, setting the level to 2.1. And then we place our beam, draw our beam. So we can now go to our section and check out the placement of our beam if it's in correct position. So as we see, it's not correctly placed, so you can select it. To selecting it, we pull it to the correct position, which is above the window level. And as for this part, we need to place our link tool. And we check out our section, and there we have the placement of our beam. So the next stage, what we're going to do now is the placement of our roof. Or before we do that, let's ensure our wall or placement on this, on the porch. So can easily go to 3D. And then we select our wall, and then we put it on the correct position, which is here. And then we apply our beam. And we apply the same concept on this side again, on the back side. So if we check out our 3D, here we have our building. So our next stage is now doing the roofing. Or before we do the roofing, we can place our ceiling. So as for ceiling, we can utilize again the slab tool. Under the slab tool, or we can easily copy the slab tool, create a copy. And then we lift it to 2.8. After lifting it 2.8, then we create a composite representing our ceiling. So simply create a new, let's say 12 mm rhino board. Then we remove every other skin, and then we set out our skin to be gypsum board or rhino board. Place gypsum plasterboard and then click OK. Then we simply come and activate our profile that we've created, which is this one, and then we check out our 3D. You come here and deactivate the material override surfaces so that it automatically give you the surface material in the setting that we've created. So we have the placement of our ceiling. Our next stage now is doing our heat proof. So from here we can activate our roof level through here, and then we have our truss reference of our place of our ground floor plan. So we go to roof 2. Under roof 2 we have the geometry method and then the construction method. So for you to create a heat proof, you activate this icon. This one is for you for creating a complex roof, and also this one you can also create a hip or gable roof. So let's utilize this one where we have points to pick. So we're going to draw along our building. Well, let's utilize this one. We draw along our building, so automatically it will give you this. Then from there you create points that will help you into placement of your heat proof. Create these points. Such points. So you simply now drag your roof and then so you simply drag your roof through this point, and then you extend your eave to 600, and then you do the same on this part. $600, and then you also extend this part. So now you have created your heat proof. So let's go to 3D. And there you have your heat proof. So you can easily place it into position by dragging it and placing it on top of the wall. And then change the degrees to, you change your pitch to 23 degrees, and then we edit now the pitch of the design of our roof to become a gable. So here you simply click and then select this icon and then drag your icon to the end. Same applies with this one, should be in line with all this. So you can simply correct these things. So now we've created our gable roof. So we can go to our 3D and check out our hip roof. So this is our hip roof. So that's how you achieve a hip roof in ArchiCAD. So for such things as this, we can now extend our walls, select our walls, or we can go to ground floor, underground floor, we select all the load bearing ones or the exterior walls that are supporting the roof. So such walls as these ones and this one, we can extend them to let me check on 3D. So we select them again and increase the height to 2 meters because we want the walls to be overlapping the roof so that we can easily subtract from the roof element. So for you to subtract, you right click, under right click you go to connect, and under connect you go to solid element operation, and the element that you've selected and the one that you want to be subtracted, so they'll be the target, and then the roof will be the operator. Then under the operation you choose subtraction with upward extrusion because we want the above part of the wall to be subtracted. Then you execute, and there you have your hip roof building. So we also forgot these ones. You follow the same procedure also for these walls. It will be the target and the roof will be the operator, and then subtraction with upward extrusion. And there we have our building with gable roofing, hip roofing. So for you to create a fascia board, you can easily select, copy this roof, create a copy for this roof, then you click it and offset by, let's say 10 mm. Then from there you can Let's offset by, let's do it on the floor plan area, on the floor area roof, on the roof plan, but it will be easier for us. So here we correct such mistakes. So give an offset of 600. So what we're going to do, we're going to copy this roof. After we copied it, we offset by 20. After 20, we subtract using this one, and then we can increase the size of our roof to 250. Let's apply it on 3D. Let's split the roof first. After having split, then we can use that method. We want it to be 250. So that's the way you can create your fascia board. Or in this case, you can remove it and be left with our. So basically, this is how you create your hip roof. So you can easily now apply trusses within your building by simply going under design. Under design, you select roof extras. Under roof extras, you go to roof maker. So for you to apply that, you can only do it when on the floor layout. So under design, you go to roof extras. After roof extra, roof maker. Roof maker, you go to roof wizards, and then you set out your dimensioning of your rafters and everything. So you simply click OK, and there you go. From there, go to 3D and place your rafters correctly. Yeah, and there you go. You have created your building. The next stage, we are going to create our site work or site ground using the mesh tool. So go to our foundation floor, and then from there we select our mesh tool. For mesh tool, then we place our ground. So after you place your ground, you can change the settings to Earth, and then you go to 3D and extend the height of your mesh, and also place it on the correct position. So there you have your 3D house with heat proof. So this is the back, the side, the front. So here we're going to place our column for structural support. We go to objects, you type in column, and the column, you select the type of column that you want. So for here, I'm going to select this one, and I'm going to change the settings of my column. And then change the material to lightweight concrete, and okay, then we come and we place our column, and we change our dimensioning to 300 by 300. Then we place it. Then we apply the same column at the back. Then we go to a 3D and check the height. So, time to correct. And there we have our building. So this is how you achieve your design, and how to design and model a 3-bedroom house with a simple 3-bedroom house with a heat proof. So the next stage is now dimensioning and placement of our furnitures in our rooms. So under dimension, we go to document. Under document, we set our dimensioning, set the height of our texts for dimensioning, and then we simply dimension our building. and you apply the same process on all sides. Here we have your building on site with dimensions and all the spaces, and this is how you achieve the design of your house. So this is it for today. Tune in on the next part of the tutorial where we'll be now dealing with documentation and preparing all the required documents or information for council approval. So thank you for watching, and subscribe so that you can receive the next tutorial or video when we upload it. Thank you for watching.